So I'm getting ready to show a video on the channel soon that'll be a small form factor PC that we use for gaming in the living room on the TV. And that build needs a tiny power supply. And so today we're looking at the power supply that I picked. And this is the SGX-500 from Seasonic. Now this is basically, the S is the small version. There's also the GX500, which is the standard size 500 watt version of this. If you're wondering, what the heck an SFX power supply is, you're probably not alone. This is a small form factor power supply used in various small form factor case builds. It's like the same general square box power supply that you would normally see, just scaled down. So these are significantly smaller, but they still fit in a standard size. So the one thing about those, of course, is that they're not terribly common. You see them a little more now, but you used to not see these very much at all. And they're kind of expensive. So this one will run you about 120 bucks at the time of the recording. And, I guess you can't really put a price on what you want in terms of this. Like, if you need it for your case build, you kind of have to have it. This is probably one of the cheaper units that exists in this form factor. So let's take a look at it. First of all, of course, it's a fully modular power supply, super helpful in small builds. You can also make custom cables to be really short if you wanted to, which is also a plus with modular builds. So this unit has a very nice matte black paint job that I really like, and I also like how the fan grill is stamped right into the housing. So that's really neat. Along the back, it's fully perforated, and then you also see these small perforations along the side of the unit for extra airflow, which is kind of neat. And you might notice in these pictures that the unit is sort of, it's kind of strange that the plug and the switch are kind of crowded towards the edge of the unit, and that's actually going to be a problem in the future build that I put on this channel, so spoilers on that. So moving forward to the front, you can see we have all the standard connections, right? You got your 4+4 CPU, your 20+4 motherboard, your 3 spots for Molex and SATA power, and then we have 2 PCIe power slots. And it's a single 12-volt rail, which is real nice. I mean, most power supplies these days are running a single 12-volt rail, so that's pretty common. It's also worth mentioning that this PSU is efficient enough that it can completely shut off its fan, which I've actually noticed during using the machine that it's quite quiet because of that, which is probably mostly due to the fact that it's an 80+ gold rated power supply. So, aside from all of that jabbering, what else is in the box? Well, you get some kind of interesting stuff. First of all, you get these sweet Seasonic branded hook and loop straps, which are neat. Of course, you get some obligatorily black zip ties, and they even give you some black screws, which is, it's nice touch. Something I thought was really weird was that they give you this jumper, which is effectively just a fancy version of what you would do for like shorting the ground to power on pins for powering a CPU on, or powering the PSU on without a motherboard being connected. It's a cool addition, but I don't really know how often you'd use it. But it's kind of neat if you were going to use this on a bench or something like that. I was also really happy to see all the cables are flat ribbon style cables like this. Some people would actually prefer them to be round. It kind of depends on your aesthetic for one, and for two, what you're putting this power supply in. So that's just kind of worth noting. These are all flat. I almost forgot, you also get this crazy normal size PSU to small form factor adapter in the event that you've bought a tiny power supply and decided to stick it in a normal size case for some reason. I don't really know why you would do that. So I'm going to skip the installation for the most part in this video. It's pretty standard. It's a power supply. And it kind of went into a case that was really strange, but I'll say it was fine, but not perfect for my needs. Although it's a standard power supply. There's nothing really fancy about the installation or what have you. It's super quiet. The fan pretty much doesn't run unless you're gaming, and it's great for it sitting in a living room. So that's pretty much it. It's great. I can't complain. It was worth the money. It fits in really tiny cases. So if you're looking for a small form factor power supply, Seasonic you can't really go wrong with. So if you have any more questions or comments, leave those below, and I'll talk to you guys later.